as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day.
I was sitting in RTV Marbella, editing, minding my own business, and this lovely young man came up to me. His name's Fi Asses, and he said, I have just the person you have to meet because I've opened up a fabulous new restaurant. The person is this, David, and the restaurant is Pikoro, P-I-K-A-R-O.
Exactly.
Pikoro, which in Spanish, which means like a bit like a scampi, like a little bit of
the idea was to picar orgánico. It's a mixture of that.
Okay.
That's where the name comes from.
To picar is to have little bits of this and bits of that.
Exactly,
The tapa style.
Tapa style on organic food.
Well, I have to say that looking through your website, David, one of the first things I noticed was vegan pate.
Yes.
And I thought, oh, a little bit different. There's the first time I've seen that on a menu.
I have to say that I was very skeptic at the beginning when the chef told me, oh, try this, it's vegan pate. My face was like, doesn't sound good. Then it was a complete surprise. Because after even once you finish, it's not just the first bite that you say, oh, this tastes really good. It's after a while, the taste stays on your mouth, and it's absolutely surprising. Actually, every time someone asks me, say, try this, and everyone's reaction is always the same. It's like, well, vegan pate,
I think maybe it would be, we were talking, my daughter is vegan, and my son-in-law, and they intend for my future granddaughter, she's pregnant, to be vegan. And it's one of the things we were talking about, that perhaps you shouldn't put vegan on it because it predetermines how we're going to taste
and some
it.
people are not very happy to try something which is vegan because they might think it's going to be boring or just grass based, and it's completely different. So I'm introducing that little by little to everyone who asks or asks me for any recommendation. Listen, try. If you don't want, I'll take it off. I'll bring you some of the things. And everyone till today, everyone that asked me and I offered that, everyone told me, oh, I was very surprised.
Well, we're going to have to go and try the vegan pate, but there are lots of other things as well, and this organic philosophy. Where are you sourcing your produce for your organic restaurant?
Most of the things are coming from Malaga, but it's also Cádiz, and our meat comes from Galicia. So is daily fish, wild fish, nothing from any other farms or anything, and those are our sources.
I love the idea of the restaurant. There are 4 of you. You've all come with experience, a world of experience in the industry to put this concept together. How did the idea, how was it born, that idea? Where were you guys when the 4 of you was like, let's do?
We met each other in one of the 5-star hotels. We are here in Marbella, and we've been working together for 15 years, most of us.
You don't look old enough to be doing anything for 15 years.
I am actually. And after a while, obviously, when you realize that, okay, we like this. Some of my partners, they study hospitality, so they definitely like this. The other 2 we discovered that we enjoy hospitality. So after that many years, one day they say, okay, enough, we should do this. We have learned from some others' mistakes. We know how to do things properly. We want to do this for ourselves. And the hardest was to find a place, because there are no opportunities. Although the places available are extremely expensive. It was tough. At the end, we decided to take this place in Puerto Deportivo. It's a bet.
It's a big bet, but if the community gets involved, it can work. The refurbishments to the Puerto Deportivo, the sports port in the heart of Marbella, have made a big difference.
It is.
Visually, you're now not going down into a car park. There is a plaza, a square.
And it's gonna get bigger. At the end, we're expecting that from November or December, it's gonna be a full square, trying to push people back to Puerto Deportivo. It's not just a club anymore. In the next couple of weeks, another place is opening, just with a full offer of food. It's a nice place with nice views, But if you ask everyone, they already had that.
Again,
that
a preconceived
Yeah.
idea. And yet, the port of Marbella has some of the best views of Africa, Gibraltar, coastline, and it's like the prime real estate. So very smart. And if you're smart and you're looking for a place, it definitely is the upcoming place to be in the port of Marbella. What are your timetables? When do you open? You open every day?
We open every day but Mondays from the moment. In July we'll change our timetables. We open in 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I have to say 11, 12 because this is the first week we open at 12. And we open until 2 a.m. We offer from snacks, brunch at 12, lunch, dinner, cocktails, juices, everything. And we have 2 different menus. Lunch menu is more green based, more fresh, because now the season is coming, it's hot, and you don't want to eat something which is heavy for you. So we have poke bowls, big salad bowls, and mix it with fresh juices. And at night we change the menu into something more cocktail based, wine by the glasses, and a gastro bar.
What kind of price range are you in?
The average is between 25 to 28 euros the cover. That means with 1 to 2 starters, main course, and dessert plus drinks. So definitely it's quite attractive.
It is, and what I'd also like looking at your website is that you can kind of do like media raciones. You can do the halves.
Exactly, because we want you to try as many things as possible. For that reason, most of our plates are into half portions.
Yeah, I thought that was really good because I'm the one, I like Chinese, for example, because I like to pick at things. I like tapas because I want to try different things. So that was certainly helping us picar,
Exactly.
orgánico, to do this Pikoro. You are from where yourself? Where were you born?
I was born in Madrid.
You were in Chulo Madrileño. Sorry, I lived in Madrid. My children were born there. So it's
I was
like
born in Madrid, but I moved here when I was 4.
And your other partners? So you came here very young with your family?
Yes, one of my partners is from Jerez and came here very young as well, and the other 2 are from Malaga.
Wonderful. It's really nice to see the difference of even the different areas of Spain getting together, and then there's varied nationalities here. Are you going to be introducing the foreigners to typical dishes in a way that they can
Yes.
embrace them?
Our head chef is from a tiny place in Córdoba, so he always pushes us to show everyone what the real kitchen is, well, food from Córdoba, from Andalusia. And although it's Mediterranean based, our cuisine, we are mixing it with some other cultures and different tastes. So you're having salmorejo, yes, but with beetroot. It sounds quite, okay, try. It looks delicious.
Well, we're going to get the traditional Spanish cuisine, but with that really new twist to it right here
That's
in the
the
heart
idea.
of Marbella. Very cool,
That's the
David.
idea.
It's a pleasure to meet you,
It's my
and I
pleasure.
look forward to actually going and tasting the food. Sounds wonderful.
Anytime.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure it'll be very successful.
Thank you.
Hey, hey.
Yeah, I'm here in Marbella, but it says here I'm in La Canada.
If you haven't mastered the lingo, don't worry. Linear Director has a free GPS geolocator service that will come and find you.
Hey, hey.
I've just found out that this lovely young lady, Barbara, not only looks perfectly in sync with Ferrier Week with a beautiful outfit, but she has a AAA doggy. And it is so nice to know that our community does get involved doing simple things to help, like adopting a AAA dog. So lovely to meet you, lovely to know that you are that you love dogs.
Yes, I do.
And you also apparently must have a love for languages because you have Marbella translators. You cover 25 languages from your one office, as your slogan says. So
Yes.
it's lovely to meet you, Barbara. Where are you from?
Well, I'm half German, half Spanish.
What a nice combination.
Yes.
That is good, yeah.
Yeah.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in the north of Spain, in Bilbao. I made my university language studies there. And then I started working in Madrid for a very important insurance company in Spain as a translator. And this is how a little bit everything developed. I learned about team management, selling techniques, and after 15 years with them, I decided to start my own business.
It must be a big step for anyone to launch out on your own, but when you know you have the ability, and the nice thing is, as you say, you also acquired that business acumen at the same time. When you were living in Bilbao, it's very different. Even having their own language, the Basque language, I did an exchange with one of the people who knew them through Magafesa, and I went to Vitoria, and it was very different learning Spanish, but at the same time being spoken to in Euskera. And then when you go to different places, and in Madrid, the Spanish is different to down here in Andalusia.
Yes.
It influences a lot when you do translations. It's not just a language. All these things are very important when you're translating. It's not literal. A lot of people make the mistake, if they speak a language, of doing their own translations. Explain to them why they shouldn't. Why this is the biggest mistake you can make.
Well, one of the main things in translation is that translators who work with us, they all have their degree. They have a wide experience in translation, and of course they are always native in the language they translate into. Because one thing is just being native or having learned a language, and something very different is really being capable of doing a professional translation. We're talking not only about web pages or commercial translations, which apparently everyone thinks he can do, but also about technical translations, sworn official translations, medical reports. We sent, for example, to United States, where we have a doctor who's our medical translator. So it's not only about languages, it's also about being specialized in the different areas you're talking about or you're working with.
And when you talk about legal things in Spain, for example, even though when you sign a lease to rent an apartment, it might be in English and Spanish. If you do not speak Spanish, please know that the Spanish version is the legal version, and it might not say the same as the English. I've had this twice come up in the last couple of weeks. So it's important for all aspects that you really do make sure that you are getting the right translation for things, particularly if you are legally committed to them.
Yes,
and even on a website, when someone goes in and reads a bad translation, you go to a restaurant and you read a bad translation, it takes away from the quality of the product.
Of course, it's your visit card, how to say, is the first impression your customers are going to have from you. If you have a bad quality translation on your webpage or on your menu, for example, it's a disaster, I would say, because you really see that the people is not professional. So I think it's very, very important to value and take care of.
We walked around the whole Science Museum in Valencia in hysterics because they obviously got some girl who was English on the beach, and they got that investment in such a building, and then, which is I think a mistake a lot of people make. You put a lot of investment into your business, into your education, but then the presentation and the translation. For me, I know that I speak Spanish very well, but I don't like being asked to do translations because you have to get the nuance, you have to get the feeling of it, not just the translation.
Yes, this is why many people ask, what do you think about machines substituting translators? This is something we talk a lot about in our world. And one of the keys, one of the points is that a machine will never be able to substitute the life experience and the culture of the translator, especially of the native. When you know the language and you know the culture and you've
the slang, the expressions,
and the country and how the people think, this is the way to transmit exactly what the person wants to transmit, or the company to be able to sell something and to translate it properly. It's very important to have all these things around you.
Living in Marbella with 147, I think, nationalities. I heard the town hall say the other day, now registered on our town centres, all crammed in to 27 kilometres of coastline. Must be heaven for you.
Yeah, it is. It's really one of the best places in the world for languages. I think it's one of the most international towns, I would say, in the world.
And nice that we're all really so close together, which is what other places don't have. Maybe got a nice mix in New York, but here we are so much hashtag better together. It's really lovely to meet you, Barbara. I'm looking forward to meeting your AAA doggy.
Yes,
It sounds
yes.
lovely. And knowing that we have Marbella translators, if you need it, remember doing your own translations, particularly for business, is a big mistake. Thank you, Barbara. Lovely.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here, and very
Really,
happy
it's so
to know
nice
you.
to get so many new people every week, and that's what makes Marbella so very, very cool.
Thank you.
Hey, hey.
Thank you for joining us for another Marbella Now. Hope you enjoyed meeting our guests, finding out what's going on in our city. Of course, La Feria San Bernabé is in full swing, and we hope you're having fun and you are taking part. Tomorrow is a new edition of Euro Weekly News, free newspaper where I write my column Marbella Moments. Please check that out too. For now, hasta mañana. Take care of yourselves. Be nice to each other if you can.
And it's time.